G'day fellas, welcome to a casted game between Orders, also known as Age of Killer, who's spawning in the south of the map playing on the Haudenosaunee, and his opponent, Aizamk, spawning in the north of the map playing the Indians. So the map that we've got for you today is New England. New England is a little bit infamous for the water that it's got down towards the south, and the fact that there's an island that sometimes spawns and sometimes doesn't spawn over to the southeast of the map. It's also somewhat infamous for the ponds that it's got in the middle of the map. It's very common that players will have a frigate in their deck and use the range of the frigate to sort of leverage the power of the pond. And it just, you know, if you get a frigate in your opponent's pond, it enables you to have full control over this area, just, you know, completely dominate just the entire region around here, prevents them from pathing through, and they have to deal with it almost instantly, unless, you know, they don't want to get punished, because it allows, you know, the trading post to be controlled. It just gives you a whole free reign of things to do. So as a consequence, it's one of those things where it's like you really need to be careful of it. And if you're not including if you're not including a frigate in your deck for maps like this, or if you don't have access to the frigate, you're gonna have a hard time. We've got a bit of chat going on right now. Hey, hi, good luck, have fun. Age of Killer being very nice to Aizamk. So Aizamk, a bit of the fan favorite. He's gonna be playing on India today. So India is a civilization that rarely I've covered on the channel, primarily just because they're a bit more difficult than other civs to macro for and get decent mods. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's already begun. Age of Killer just you know, bringing Twitch chat into the in-game lobby. It's it's always good to see. So we're going to take a look at Aizamk. So opening us up with an 80 food treasure, really nice find for him. Now, this map is somewhat infamous as well for the food treasures that it's got. So we'll just take a look at exactly what we're talking about. So we've got up here, Orders going for a little bit of a curious strategy here at the beginning. So for anybody watching at home and wondering why is this curious, well, his Explorer should be in melee, because you have a look at the melee damage, it's much lower than the range damage for the Outlaw Rifleman. So it's 12 with 1.5, so it works out to be 24, versus 40 over 3. So it is, it's much more effective to be in melee. We can see that just how much damage Orders took on his Explorer there. I'm sure that Orders knows that. It's probably just a misclick. He's probably just thought he clicked the melee button and just didn't click the melee button. So a very normal thing. Gonna do the Toma Rush, he says. So we take a look at this map, and one of the things that happens is that it's very one-sided when it comes to treasures. So we can see here, 100 food. A's picked up a 90 food treasure here earlier. And over on the opponent's side, you know, they've got a nearly mature bear cub that you can tame. So not a really big treasure. Now, he did pick up this treasure just here, which was a decent treasure. But somewhat infamous for just... I don't think I've ever seen that before. Stunning the Outlaw Rifleman. So we've got the very first card that's coming in. What is Orders doing today? Orders is he playing? Is he awake? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But speaking of having to see, Ace has now taken a trading post on the south of the map. We'll have a look at his deck. We'll see what he's got in store for us. He's got absolutely no water cards, so not even a frigate for us. He's got a land deck, Distributivism opening us up. He's got the foreign logging in here, as well as the Tiger Claws. He's got 2 and 3 Mahouts, as well as a couple cards in Age 4, which is very standard. The Urumi, as well as the 25 Tiger Claws. So we take a look over at his base. So he is going to be going for that little bit of a delayed age up. So it's somewhat standard, I would say. It's rare that you see the 10-10, which is where you go 10 settlers at 10 population. And going to be going good faith agreements. So most likely going to be doing a fast fortress. This is a build order that I've covered before on the channel for India. It's known as the GFA FF, the Good Faith Agreements FF. And essentially the idea is that you want to get a consulate, and you're going to ally with the French consulate, and then you're going to be, from there, going to be shipping in the resource crates. So once you reach the second age, you'll be getting diplomatic intrigue, and then behind that, you'll be shipping in the 3 crates. Now, keep in mind, we are watching Aizamk, so I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, goes for the French consulate and then gets grenadiers. Like, that's the kind of guy that we're dealing with here, so we've got to be careful. You know, I just want to preface everything by saying that it's A's 11, so, you know, watch out. Now, let's go have a look at Orders. We'll see what he's up to. He's just doing that very standard, very toxic thing that he is quite well known for, and that's water booming. No walls yet for orders. I'm surprised not to... I say that, never mind. Never mind. There's the walls. I was going to say, like, I'm expecting a wall across here, expecting a wall across here. There's the walls. So orders, this is, par for the course for orders. Orders is somewhat notorious for the walls that he places just absolutely everywhere throughout the map. So he's obviously doing this to protect his water boom. Now, he would have scouted out the deck of Aizamk, and he would have seen that over on Aizamk's side, there's no water cards in here, so he knows that he should relatively be safe on water. But he should be a little bit suspect about this wonder. Undoubtedly, he would also know that the trading post has gone up, and so he'd be looking at the deck, he'd see good faith agreements in there, and he'd say, all right, you know what? I know what's up. I'm not too fussed. We're going to take a look over at his deck and see what he's got. He's also got a land deck, so we don't have any water cards in here whatsoever. Very, very standard deck. I think this is about as standard as it comes for a land deck for the Haudenosaunee, so good to see from him. With the exception of maybe High Chief, let's have a look at that. Your War Chief is better in combat and at organizing defenses. His aura now also slightly increases building hit points. I've actually not seen this card used at all. So curious to see if we actually see it in play today or not. So now we've got orders sending in that 600 coin. Keep in mind that as the Haudenosaunee, they're not going to have access to cards like the 700 coin, just to keep them, down a level, that sort of thing. But he's now going to be gathering that up, heading up to the Fortress Age, and just take a look how beautiful this is, okay? So he's opened, he's got, how many fishing boats has he got? He's got 7 fishing boats, all right? Technically 8 fishing boats, if you include this one that's scouted a little bit further away. He's got 8 fishing boats, and he's got all of these villages on land. He's got 20 villages on land, so a huge economy behind him. 28 villages before 6 minutes, and he's already got that age up in queue. He's going to be going up with the messenger. Just an absolutely insane economy. One of the things about the Haudenosaunee is they're incredibly strong on water maps. Maps like this where you've got access to just a few fish is all you really need. You don't need to go troppo with it. Don't need to go crazy. This is more than enough, and that's really it. So we take a look now at Aiz. We see what Aiz is up to. Aiz indeed doing that GFAFF. So we see he's allied with the French consulate. He's got the wood crates coming in. The coin crates are going to be coming in behind it. And once he hits 180 export, I think it is. Or is it 80 export? I'm not sure exactly how much it costs. I think it's 180 export. He's going to be able to get those food crates in as well. And then he's ending relations straight away. Now, he is under attack at the trading post from the war chief of the opponent. It's going to take a long time to go down, so I don't want to stay on his perspective because it's going to make that annoying little sound. So what we might do is just switch over to orders perspective, and then from here we can watch what Aiz is doing. So Aiz is taking the trading line now. We've got orders who having aged up is now sending through the 1200 resource crates. So it's a significant amount of resource crates when you consider that most of the shipments that are in this age are about 1,000 resources. So that's 1,200 resources. That's significant. Also going up with the corral, dropping that down. So he's got a war hut as well as the corral. Going to be able to get a nice mixture of units in here. Probably going to be looking for, potentially doing the musket rider with the forest prowler, getting them together. Going to be pushing up onto this trading post, almost 100% certain. Now dropping down another tribal marketplace. So he's got a couple of these out now. In addition to that, he's also continuing to train fishing boats. So one of the things that happens with the Haudenosaunee is when you send in a big shipment like this, and don't these beautiful crates look absolutely amazing, the way that we see them sitting down there on the ground. They look so much better than when they're all tied up in those little bundles. It kind of gets a bit annoying to look at, but this looks absolutely great. That's the way it should be. Much easier to micro, much easier to anticipate. But you've got a bit of leftover wood. You don't really know what to do with it because you place down 1 or 2 houses and then it's like, well, what do I do with all this extra wood? Well, this is what you do with all that extra wood. You start making fishing boats. And so now up to 11 fishing boats. He's got another 2 in queue. So he's going to have a total of 13. We'll go check out up on Aiz once this trading post goes down and we'll see what he's up to. Probably going to be going up to the Fortress Age himself. He is indeed going up with a wonder. I wonder what wonder this is. This is going to be the Taj Mahal, I suspect. We'll take a look though. It is indeed the Taj Mahal. So not the Kanimata, like most people would suspect. That is a gentle dig. And going up with the Portuguese consulate now. I don't think I've seen this before. So I don't even know what the Portuguese consulate's got. Like it's got Bastirois. It's got those 3 fishing boats. I'm assuming it's the same as the Japanese consulate, right? Like surely it can't be. It's surely not different from the Japanese consulate. So we'll take a look. and see what Orders is up to. We'll go back to his perspective. So sending in the 8 Forest Prowlers now. Now keep in mind he doesn't have a forward war hut, even though he's got that forward dock. And even though he walled off his opponent, he opted to just keep his war hut in base. Aizamk now reaching the Fortress Age, 8 minutes 43. Beginning to siege down trading post now. Orders is, so going to be cleaning these up. We can see that Aiz has still got this trading post up to the north, and Orders would be aware of this. He can very clearly see on the UI that the trading posts do exist. The second trading post is somewhere on the map. He knows it's not here. He just burnt that one down. He knows it's not here because he's got line of sight, so naturally he can only assume that it's up here. But Orders now also going to be getting in those gill nets as well, so looking very healthy when it comes to his economy. 9 minutes. He must think he's playing Portuguese because he has got 13 fishing boats at this point. And now sending in infantry combat as well, so a really nice choice of cards. I love getting this card in early, and the reason why is because it's such a big boost. 15% on HP and attack for your Forest Prowlers. And these guys have already got such incredibly high stats. So the fact that, you know, it's going to be boosting their stats even higher is just absolutely incredible. Really nice macro as well. Check out this macro from Orders as well. Everything under 100 resources. So really, really nice stuff from him. So let's go take a look over at Aizamk. We'll see what he's up to. Aiz going to the 4th age. Classic Aizamk stuff. So going up with the Charminar Gate. One of the things that the consulate allied with the Portuguese is going to be doing is reducing the cost of your wonders down. And so obviously that's going to be reducing the cost of the Charminar Gate. So the food cost going down from 2,000 down to 1,700. So getting an extra 300 food off. Not too bad. But keep in mind he's also got the Taj Mahal. So if he needs to buy more time, let's say if the opponent comes in, starts doing a little bit of siege, he can always buy more time if necessary. Maybe if he's got a big shipment coming in or something like that. And he does have the 10 Urumi in deck. It doesn't look like he's macroing for it. But he could be macroing for the Tiger Claws. That is for sure. He's got a lot of villagers right now on coin. That is like an excessive amount of villagers on coin. So I do suspect we're going to be seeing that coming in. He's got a market. If I was him, I would be just market selling right now. Just selling all my food, getting in that extra coin for the Tiger Claws right now, because otherwise you're going to be in a really difficult spot, Aizamk. I guess technically you don't have a shipment though, so I guess you don't need to be too worried. But now we've got the Mahouts moving down as well. Mahouts going to be getting on top, and we've got an interesting card coming in. Is this Aizamk with the irregulars and as well as the sentries coming out on top? One of the things to note though is Aizamk looks like he's shipped the Darker Suffering. Enemy units nearby Indian monks are slower, so this actually slows down the units of Orders. So you can see that his units are 7.25 speed, and we've got 4 movement speed over here. So when the monks get up nice and close, and keep in mind they've got 1,000 hit points, so that's a significant amount of hit points, especially considering there's 20% range resist, and these units are all ranged. So it's something to really consider. We've now got those Tiger Claws coming in, so Ace getting up a really nice age up time. Looking, it must have been close to about 10 minutes. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but now being forced to idle a couple of villages. Orders would know what's up. He'd obviously know that Ace is in age 4 and that it's only a matter of time, so he needs to be careful. But Orders doing the right thing, getting a gate in his wall, going to be able to evacuate the dance floor if he does get infected by the sound. I suspect he's probably going to be doing that sooner rather than later, because I don't know how he's going to be able to get through this wall, Aizamk. So may have to look to flank from another angle, potentially even come out from the town center, because even if he gets a good pop here, it's going to be very simple just to walk back. But Orders making an incorrect decision right here. He's got to be so careful, because if Ace can come in from this angle, which is exactly what he's doing, he's going to come in from this angle, beeline for this gate, because he knows about this gate. You block in on this gate's angle, and your Tiger Claws are going to pop out right here. Look at this, perfect time. Ace is just, oh, he's so sneaky. We'll go look at Orders' perspective. He doesn't see a thing. He doesn't know what's up. He's just sieging down the aggro fort, just minding his own business. Ace is going to be popping right here, I suspect. We'll check in on his perspective. Darker Suffering coming in as well. And holy crap, look at the size of that Tiger Claw pop. Massive amount of Tiger Claws now getting in on top of all of the enemy units. A big stomp going off now from one of the Indian monks, and all of the Tiger Claws are just getting perfect connections. These guys are like Chimmy Runners on steroids. Take a look at their stats. 18 hand attack with a 2 times against infantry. So managing to shred most of the Forest Prowlers. If we take a look how many Forest Prowlers are left, just 13 are left now. Still quite a decent mass though for Orders, and a couple Tiger Claws have followed the Forest Prowlers through to the other side. But have a look at the movement speed. So slowing these units down by about 5%, so not a huge amount, but still quite decent. And he's managing to definitely, I would even say more than break even. It looks like he's going to be able to not only hold, but able to defend this quite successfully. managing to keep up the aggro fort as well. There's still a couple of units over here that are shooting it, but still the Tiger Claw is able to actually do some work. So good stuff. Indian Monk also going to be getting in on top. I'm curious, is this... So it's only a 5% reduction, so not a huge amount of... Is 5% right? Let me just do some quick math here. Yeah, 5%'s right. Okay. So reducing the movement speed by 5%, not a huge amount. I don't actually know if that's worth it now. Now that I think about it. But more units now coming in for orders. Orders making... I don't know if I would necessarily say this is a mistake, but he's anchoring. So anchoring is a cognitive bias that occurs for players. And essentially what it means is like tunnel vision. He's just anchoring to this one single point, and he's really trying to get in, and he's just focusing in on it. And, you know, he doesn't care how much he loses. He doesn't care, you know, at the end of the day, he's only focused on getting this down. And it can be a bad thing because you get pops like this Yurumi pop that just fell right on top of orders once again. So he doesn't have a huge amount of siege, and AOE3 just doing the, you know, what he loves to do. He loves to do big pops all the time, and just getting another beautiful clean pop. So probably going to be able to heal this one up behind it. We see that there's still a Kanya Horseman that's still focusing down the aggro fort. And look at this commit. I would suspect he's probably even going to just try and siege this fort down once again. Let's... Are there any more units that are about to pop out of this thing? This thing is just absolutely... There's more Rajputs. Rajputs just popping out on top right now of the musket riders. So really, really nice work from Aze, using that fort to its, you know, its best potential. He's going to be losing it now. It's not a big deal for him because he's been able to trade so effectively with it. We see more units now coming in for Aizamk, but this wall really doing a lot of work for orders, and it's on 2 HP. It's on 2 HP. Finally, the musket rider going to be throwing it, taking it down with the final torch. This wall really buying a lot of space for orders. It's quite impressive to see the amount of leverage it gives him, being able to come back behind this wall. Can you imagine if this wall wasn't here, what we'd be looking at? Like, this would have just been a total stomp. But the fact that he's able to come in behind the walls really means that he's able to utilize his units a lot more effectively. They've got significant range, a range of 20 as well as a range of 12. So he's able to keep them behind the wall. I hope that he's going to heal these ones up. They're very, very cheap and effective to heal up. Now going to be sending in those 6 Forest Prowlers. So not the most effective card, 6 Forest Prowlers. Probably at this point, you'd be wanting to send an upgrade in. We take a look how many Forest Prowlers he's got out on the field now. 24 Forest Prowlers. So we'll do a bit of a stock take. We'll see what's happening. So we've got 18 fishing boats for a total of 54 villagers that are gathering at the moment. We take a look over at Aizamk's perspective. He's up to 40 villagers now. Going to be sending in his next unit pop, which is going to be the Yurumi. So 40 villagers, not too bad. Keep in mind he's got wood trickles behind there, so he's got just the single distributivism wood trickle. So a really nice pop there from AOE3. So Yurumi Swordsman going to be coming in. So this has got the Mansabar in there as well. And isn't he just the most awesome looking Mansabar? Take a look at that. You can really tell the difference between him. He's going to get picked off quite fast, I suspect. But with 780 hit points, I tell you what, it's going to take a lot of work. Because not only does he have 780 hit points, he's got an extra 30% range resist as well. So pretty significant. Gentle Pete in amongst the action as well. Good to see that Gentle Pete is getting some action. We're up to 16 minutes now. Normally Gentle Pete falls off about 2 or 3 minutes. But it's good to see that he's doing work. So I guess the difficult part for Aze is, like, you need to break this wall. This wall, even though it's got 420 hit points, doesn't matter. What matters is that you can continue to leverage it. And, like, it sounds crazy, but I feel like the only way you can really break this wall is with, like, siege elephants. Because, I mean, you could probably break it with Mahouts, but to be fair, like, a siege elephant is going to be the safest way to do it, but it's really bad to do that. I would not advise doing it. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but the problem that you're going to have is just, you know, unless he's able to kill this stable before the pop. Is he going to be able to kill this? He's not going to focus down the stable before the pop. The pop is going to happen. He's going to absolutely destroy. The pop is going to occur right now. We're going to see 2 Mahouts popping, 3 Mahouts popping out on top of all these Forest Prowlers. How does he do it? He's the pop god. He literally just pops units constantly, slowing down all these units as well. They're on 3.8 movement speed, but once again, retreating towards the wall orders is. We take a look over at his perspective. He's closely getting there. The Yurumi, as well as the Mahouts, just absolutely cleaning everything up. Plus 18s everywhere. Plus 16 over on the left-hand side. Yurumi doing a great job right now. We check and see how many Yurumi there actually are. There's 14 Yurumi still. That Mansabar being focused down, 68 hit points at the moment, and finally sieging down the wall. We look how fast these Yurumi throw their torches. It's like they do a little underarm toss towards the wall, finally breaking through the wall now. Orders really failing to heal those walls up, and as a consequence, paying for it with what looks to be the game potentially here. Ace is in a great spot here, sending in those Age 4 shipments. They're just so powerful for India. You get big things like the Yurumis, as well as these Mahouts that have just got so much health. 1100 health. The 30% range resist is just going to do so much work for him. He's now also sending in... I can't even bother pronouncing that. Dravidian Martial Arts. Going to increase that attack even further. So we see the... it's a 15% increase for all the melee units. Now, does the Yurumi count as a unit? I think it's actually a melee, a ranged unit rather. Yeah, it's ranged damage. So we see here, this is the melee. So I don't think it would actually be increasing the damage of the Yurumi. So that's a ranged unit that snares in melee combat though. And so now at this point in the game, we see a massive swing. I think that at this point, we can safely say that Orders is behind. I'm actually going to speed the game up just because at this point, I think the game is so close to over, but we actually see a bit of a ceasefire now coming out because Orders is trying to get back into the game. He's got 10 elite Kanya horsemen that are around here, but they just can't engage because we've got that ceasefire. Aizamk doing a great job getting his units back towards these Mahouts. He needs to group them up. He's trying his best to get them back through here. The pathing has been blocked by Orders. Ceasefire is now ended. The Kanyas are opening up, but they've managed to get back on in time to the Disciplined Mahouts. There's 5 Disciplined Mahouts, and once again, we're at a point now where Ace is so far ahead in score. He's up 6k score. I suspect that at this point, it's just going to be really hard for Orders to get back in the game. So 6.09. A significant debuff for Cavalry compared to infantry. So it's a 5% debuff for infantry, but for Cavalry, I think it might be a 10% debuff. Because we actually saw it being reduced down to 6.09, which works out to be exactly 10%. So that's quite huge to consider that they're slowing down cavalry by 10%, slowing down infantry by 5%, these explorers are. So something very, very careful needs... Oh my lord, going now with the Ottoman Consulate, bringing in 2 Great Bombards. What are you doing to me, Ace11? How do you come up with this stuff? It's you know, what is really so impressive, what I love about Ace11, is he is able to utilize the craziest thing. So you've got a card, it's an Age 1 card, Good Faith Agreements, and still he's managing at 19 minutes in the game after the first age to utilize this card continually, now sending in more, sending in Great Bombards with it. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how he does it. It's just, it's really impressive stuff. Now getting a nice little pull, swinging around, trying his best to get his Mahouts on top. Great Bombard's now going to be opening up as well. Yurumi trying to get their best flank on. Just really want to get into the mix. Plenty of Yurumi out here, actually. Let's take a count. We've got 19 Yurumi. Oh my lord, that's so many Yurumi. Yeah, Great Bombards. These are Consulate Great Bombards. These guys do 675 base attack. They're going to one-shot a Cuirassier right now. Boom, baby, boom. Now, keep in mind, they've obviously got that negative multiplier against cavalry, so they don't actually one-shot a Cuirassier. But this Cuirassier right here, they're going to one-shot if they get their shots off. That is incredible. I am so impressed by this. I am like, I don't know how he pulls this together and just sends two Kanya horsemen absolutely flying. Now we've got a couple of musket riders that are going to be able to sort of hold it back, but we see that the Great Bombards have got the lock on, taking out the Cuirassier, not having any trouble today. Going to start training Rajputs now as well. I suspect at this point, Orders probably knows that it's over. Once you see these Great Bombards, you just know it's pretty much over. I think we actually saw the ball roll down into the water just there. I heard a bit of a splash on the screen, but it's impressive stuff. And I've just received confirmation, so that it's actually 5% for each monk that you've got. So if you've got 2 monks on top of your opponent's army, it's 5% for each one, so a total for 10%, which is why we saw those discrepancies. First shot going off, look how much damage that does. They literally almost one-shot a Kanya horseman. These are elite Kanya horsemen as well. These aren't like just your standard colonial or commerce age Kanya horsemen. Now Orders going for a bit of a base, or not a base trade, but trying to do his best to distract. A good strategy, so trying to say, A's, bring your army back, A's. I don't want you to push on my base. But A's not having any of it. A's now pushing forward. He's got some Rajputs that are going to be going back as well. Sending in that Elephant Combat, 20% Elephant Combat, a huge combat card. So 20% HP, 20% attack. And keep in mind, these are honored Mahouts now, so... oh, yeah, it's starting to get a little bit sticky. Order's in a difficult spot, down 7k score. Opponent walking up to him. A's bringing out the big bombards, doing the 360 no-scope. And Order's saying GG right there. That's going to be it, calling it out. Probably going to put something in here about the semi-FF lobby, I do suspect. We'll have to see. He's typing something big out right now. I can smell it. Where is it? Oh, I think he might just be going for the last fight. Maybe that's what he's doing. No, okay. There we go. I was waiting for it. You know, Orders is infamous for speaking up against the semi-FF lobby. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope that you've enjoyed this game. If you've liked it, if you're a big fan of Aze11, I want you to let me know down in the comments. Aze11 is a huge part of this community. He's a meta setter, as I'm sure you already know, and has done a great job in this game. Impressive stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.